So if adopting your worldview is it, to me, it's still that I think you should be allowed to have an abortion if you're raped, and that's all it is. I understand your viewpoint, I get it, but I still have a different viewpoint.
Yeah, but your position's inconsistent. Can you at least acknowledge that?
I don't feel like it is, but
Let me demonstrate to you how it is. So your position would say that, A, even though this child was conceived through rape, the child is now outside of the womb, therefore we cannot unalive it. But if the child is inside of the womb conceived through rape, we were able to unalive it. So your position is inconsistent insofar as we're able to unalive beings based on location, or is it developed very well?
Again, I think that the way you're wording it is very different than what I'm saying. We have different views. I'm still acknowledging that I can understand what you're saying and why you feel the way that you do. I'm not, gonna sit here and down on your point of view. I understand it. It's just still, even as listening, so me personally, I still feel differently. The whole point of joining was just ask the question to the host.
Yeah, that's fair and that's fine. And I appreciate you having a cordial conversation, but I don't know where you're getting lost, because you would say it's really
welcome back to EA Sports. I'm James Cebulski. So glad you could join us. Let's go.
A 10-week fetus that was considered rape.
It's still understandable. What's wrong?
A 10-week fetus, yeah, would be a 10-week fetus would be.
Yes, you just found out you were pregnant.
Yeah, you can just feel the buzz in this city all day long, and we are seconds away now from this opening face-off. The Nighthawks get off to a good start as they win the opening face-off.
That's one thing. It's another thing to decide to carry that child full term. You make that decision. You say, I'm going to carry this child full term, and I'm going to love them anyway. Because you took on the knowledge of they could cause birth seizures. That's a thing that comes from.
Yeah, why is that relevant?
Well, when you're good like that, you always want to make the goaltender drop and move first, James, and I think it's the bite, the pause, the fake style of the shot that gets the goaltender to move one way and then moves
there is running back, there's some justification, or there's no value in those things. That's new, which is...
The Knights win it.
There's, again, I'm still saying that it's not a sense, they still have value. It's a right thing overall. It's just a matter of, I think specifically about the mother giving to you, and if that's her
Do you believe the mother has more value than the fetus, or less value?
Yes. I do believe the mother has more value than the fetus.
What gives the mother more value than the fetus?
Wagner is able to square up to the shooter right there. He's in a dangerous position in the slot area.
That's a question. Fetus is a baby inside of a stomach that is not doing anything. The mother is a human person who is moving around, is walking, a living, breathing human being with a full-fledged brain. Yes, they have more value.
I love how both of these teams are playing so fast right now. I mean, the quick counters and the transitions are creating a lot of speed for generating scoring chances at both ends.
Being morally valuable, you said it was being able to move around, breathe, and talk, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so human beings are only valuable if they're currently moving around, currently breathing, currently
You're taking like a waste when he misses wide.
Like putting it in a completely different light.
This is the position position, right? So you said that the mother's more based on the fact that one checks its location for world which is insane. Two, you're speaking of experience, we're saying more valuable. And three,
he's in a lot of pain here, James, as he's trying to make his way back to the bench. He was injured somewhere in the shift, showing his passing to try and stay committed to the play, but he's got to get off.
What I'm trying to say, right? I'm tired. But it comes down to, in my brain, to the mother is a full. It doesn't matter if she's being cherished, whatever. That doesn't change her value or anything. What I'm saying is she is a very like her Essentially, she could get so hurt from giving birth to that child. And if you take human and compare it to a child, yes, I do think that the emotional human being is.
Tell you what, James, I'd be hearing footsteps if I saw him coming at me because he has such a physical element to his game. He separates body from puck and then gets rewarded with a finish.
She's like, she's big.
Perfect timing here late in the first.
There's something about the beginning and the end of periods, right? There's a sense of urgency around them, and this team found a way in the dying minutes to get the equalizer here, James. They can take that momentum to the dressing room if they can hold on.
I think you have to be completely forward.
What does that mean? Obviously not.
Again,
Just give them some lead.
The Nighthawks played along the boards.
it's like halfway out.
From the point, they take control of it. And he can't hang on after that hit.
I
Here we go.
was halfway out and we just like use a samurai sword to score. I was a very difficult child. Like I
really like to say James because he challenges
you know, like they're like, come on. Again, I'm not trying to say so much. This is my place and this is why what makes someone like valuable is you just get an abortion. You just said that makes someone a human if they're like 44.
You can't worry about what happened in the game, James. It's all about what you do now. Staying in the present. That's exactly what they've done, and they've got
What you said,
equalizer.
you said before the board.
It wasn't what I was fighting for. Like I said, I'm tired of the way my whole point is just the head out.
But if they can get out of this period,
I don't think
Anybody who just got up for a quick snack is probably
and I can understand.
what happened?
don't blink. The game can change in an instant.
Situation where let's say man or woman, man maybe, and the woman's pregnant and she's excited for the child. She's ready to raise the child. She buys creative. She buys all this formula. She's ready to raise this child, and the father does not want the child. So what he does is while she's at the 8th month, he gives her the abortion pill without her knowing, which kills the child. Do you think what the father did was morally wrong?
Well, it wouldn't really work at the
held liable for it?
100%. That is a completely different thing. That is.
Wait, why is what he did wrong?
Because there was a difference between the mom who was carrying the child saying, I cannot do this, and the father just saying, no, I just don't want this responsibility, and forcing that on the mother. Those are two
really like the energy that they showed throughout the game. Now it's been channeling the energy they just created and doing something with it.
Girl, the abortion pill that they take. Makes it more valuable. And before it's a full human being, it is not more valuable. And then when it makes the full human being, you said before it is born, it is not a full human being. Therefore, in the 9th month before it is born, it is not a full human being. Therefore, we should have taken this conversation.
They were.
very beginning of this conversation.
So that you can't try it.
I said it at the very beginning of the conversation that if you are first trimester, like that I think it's okay. I said in the very beginning that I do not think a woman should be born her child when she is third trimester related to pregnancy. I said that from the very beginning.
I think you've contradicted yourself more than once. I think it's spoiled.
Alright, whatever. Y'all have a question. Wait, I have a question because it's incest. So if a brother and a sister are being intimate and the sister gets pregnant, can you get an abortion? So I think that if the baby is going to be born with a type of like extreme disability that is going to have an extreme effect on their life, and they will not be able to have anything, I do think that that is okay. There were plenty of family members that were born from things like, yeah, I know people who were born from things like that, and it affected them and gave them severe types of disorders that has so greatly impacted their life that I do think if that's something like that, it could, I think it should be, yes. So we should unallow babies who are going to have disabilities or if they have a disability. So I didn't say that. That's what you're saying. You just said that. I'm not saying every single one. I'm saying if you are getting down to it is so severe that it like there's like they're going to be in pain their entire life, then yes, I do think it's okay. Okay, so you're a eugenicist. I didn't. That's not the same thing. I'm not sitting. How's it not the same? Because I'm not sitting here and saying that one of these are better than the other. I'm saying for the sake of saying that they're less desirable because they're going to possess these diseases. That's what you're saying. The sake of the child. So unaliving them is for their sake. Would you rather them be in pain their entire life?
Or you can just like,
yes, and die slowly and in pain and only knowing suffering?
Actually, can I just correct you? Census babies, especially in the first generation, they have a very low chance of having these disabilities and having these disorders, under 2%, in most cases. So you really cannot guarantee that a child that would be born out of incest would have these problems.
what?
I'm just saying that you can't even measure these things in the womb majority of the time. Like, there can be sometimes that that's what I was talking about specifically. I was specifically talking about when it's severe enough that it can be judged. What if it's not incest? What if it's just a regular couple aren't related at all and their offspring is going to have a disability? Then that's their choice. I'm not going to stick my nose. So they should have the choice to lie their child because they could have a disability. That's their choice. I'm not going to stick my nose in what other people are going to do. I don't think like you sound like disgusting. No, I really don't. So what's stopping us from doing that? What's stopping us from doing that to people who are like outside of the womb who have those conditions? I don't understand how you keep going in this circle. It's like we can apply these things to humans who are outside of the womb who also have these conditions, who are in pain, right? And then when she said, I see suffering, so can we just like if they, there is a thing where people get, what's it called? They get like, on their deathbed, and you like basically have them put you down. People will choose to get that done when they are in enough pain. If somebody decides that, they don't get the choice to. They don't get the choice to lives like the fetus. We also don't get the choice. Can we just elect them then? If they are going to be in pain,
Hey everybody, I'm Nhl26. Welcome back to
the people who are outside today who have the same condition. They can't feel pain. They can feel pain. They're going to be in pain their whole life. They're going to be as if they are outside and they make the choice. Can we unelect them? If they make the choice that is what they want to do, is this not the thing? In this case, they don't get the choice. The fetus is going to get the choice. The fetus can't make the choice.
Okay, so outside.
Yeah, newborn can't make a choice either.
People just go in the street and just pew them up. They have brains. They are able to make choices. No, you cannot do that.
A newborn can make a choice?
So why can't you let the fetus in the womb who could develop these defects when we can't which also already cause these defects? I explained my point multiple times. I really am it's not consistent. Why can't we unalive these people outside of the womb who are suffering due to this condition where they're in pain their every day, their entire lives? Why can't we just unalive them? Why can't we just go on the street and just like slit their throat? Why can't we? Why can't we just feed them gasoline and send them to throw it on them?
Lisa, I don't think you're being a little serious.
Thompson's got the puck. Oh, and a misfire. That goes right out of the zone.
Why can't we just put a plastic bag over
Grabbed
it?
along the boards by Lepresti. Providence has got a hold of the puck. Oh, just a 10-foot hit. Quick to stop.
I think I was trying to say earlier when I was being
to get a stoppage in play.
sitting here and listening to you, thinking about we have used.
Lepresti is finding a way to limp himself back to the bench here and finish his shift, but man, it's been a tough one. He got injured somewhere in the midst of it, showing a lot of heart and passion here as he's committed to staying on the ice for his team.
Providence has won the draw and they'll go to work. Skating to lose the defender there.
Pleasant conversation with the man who said that
icing is the call.
Those are very, very positive.
You're right.
Here in the late going to the frame. Still no score in this one.
It's a take. That's true. Anyway, I came on to ask you a question. Analyzing the data here. I came on to ask you a question. I said, what is your opinion on these assets? I gave you my opinion, but you didn't come up with anything why it changed. It was just because.
Let's have a look at that last hit. I mean, that was absolutely huge, James. You know that this is a momentum changer. You can see the bench erupt with that one.
I really appreciate you pulling Coyle, but I think we need to move on to the next point for discuss this.
The Patriots take a 1-0 lead here in the late going to period number 1. This is a huge goal momentum-wise, isn't it?
Yeah, James, if you score a goal at the beginning of the period, it really sets the tone and temperature for your team. And it also puts your opponent back on their heels.
Yeah, there are new studies coming out that our brains can develop at 32 instead of 25.
Providence has taken a 2-0 lead here in period number 1.
Well, this is the start they wanted, James. They can hold on to it and go into the first intermission with a 2-0 lead, all because they've opened up lanes, and every time they've had an opportunity to take it to the net, they have.
The Icebreakers will play it from the defensive zone. Pops the puck into the corner of the offensive zone. Puck knocked loose after that hit.
And we are
The
under
Patriots will play it through the neutral zone.
uncertainty.
Thompson's got it against the board. Looks up from the point. Denies him. He got all of it. Oh, and a great hit. Some play to force the turnover by Thompson.
How does that apply in the Old Testament?
The Icebreakers gain possession along the wall.
What do you mean? Well, I think God's law is perfect and consistent. So if it was good enough for the Old Testament, it's still good enough for us today.
Finish on the play.
Oh, he's flashing the leather, looking for that huge glove save, James, but you got to stop it first if you want to make the highlight reel.
So even if they have the for people being
Simple stick handling in
stoned
his
to
own
death,
zone. Sends it over
I'm
to
still
Sanchez.
condoning this action. So
Providence has got control of it now from their own end.
yeah, that's
Speed through center, and here they come on the attack. Johnson for the puck, and it's knocked away. Providence is
what?
That still doesn't do anything about how we should act when we're uncertain.
I like it very much because it's kind of like throwing defense out the window, but I will say it's entertaining and fun.
in the final
Right, what
moments
is-
of the period.
Is that,
Patriots
so
now lead by 2.
what I just asked about the Old Testament, what they would, there's still the potential for individuals under Mosaic law, Hebrew people, performing uncertain death penalties, right?
Yeah.
And God saw that as good and commanded it.
Well, God saw what was good was putting to death guilty people.
Right, so now they have this law where they're supposed to put to death guilty people, right? And there's a potential for them to put innocent people to death.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if we're going to perform the death penalty, we need to have the appropriate evidence to do so.
Yeah, but there's a difference between being guilty and being so guilty that it's not a live possibility that you're putting to death, an innocent person. I'll pause. Demonstrate.
Sure. Okay. Real quick before that goes, that would still apply during the times of the Old Testament. So, were they wrong for stoning people to death?
They would have been, so if it was a live possibility that they were stoning an innocent person, they would be basically gambling with their lives. That would be wrong. Yeah.
But they did do that.
Well, I mean, we don't have very particular cases. But if it was the case that someone had like a live possibility that they were actually innocent, and that was ignored, then yeah, they would be acting extremely negligent and reckless. Yeah.
So are you pro capital punishment when we have no potential for there being this?
Like I said, I grant that the enemy uses is true. So we'll just say the death penalty is morally permissible when it's against a guilty person who's actually guilty. Yeah.
But Link, quick question on that. Whenever you say the potential, right? You're saying there's always the potential for us to unalive somebody who is not guilty, correct?
Did I say potential? I said live possibility.
Oh, well, I mean, I heard that too. I mean, it's possible that I heard both, or maybe I misheard. Can I get a semantic reduction on that possibility in this context?
Yeah, it's just a proposition is a live possibility, if and only if the proposition has been decidedly defeated, which is called order evidence. There's contested philosophical or empirical evidence. That's called first order evidence. And if the proposition were true, it would carry very heavy moral or practical consequences.
Yeah. Well, and you take that in your premises too, correct?
I mean, that's just the definition of. It's not in the premises, but it's just the definition of live possibility.
I got you. Okay. Yeah, we'll continue whenever Devin's done.
Okay.
Alright. Christian. 30 and no, which is why I'm kind of confused as to why you seem to think, people seem to think that being Christian doesn't bring up everybody, because not everybody is.
Sure, under the Christian worldview, we believe everyone has a knowledge of who God is. And there are people who are and where God brings them. And there's other individuals who suppress the truth of righteousness. God makes his law in all of our hearts and things like rape and murder and then they continue to live their life as Christian God is the God that can exist. God would still follow that if Yahweh doesn't exist, then follow that everyone would be subject to righteousness. So, we'll just go through the Christian worldview. As if you were right, working while talking past one another, I'm going to assume that what God says in his word is absolutely true.
My question is, what gives you, one person, the right to impose this on other people? Isn't it? It's true. Say abortion really is not does exist. And I'm gonna end up is it to prevent me from making that choice for myself?
Yeah.
So it's not the abortion is what's the conviction of this preventing you from receiving salvation. Next part of that is that's my job. I saw this. Just reading that's not the curious. This one of that person yourself. The history of this. We live procedures where it's right. That's things right. So saying this promotion is this should be the thing.
Here we go. This should be a fun one on the ice tonight. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to EA Sports. I'm James Cebulski. Let's drop the puck.
There's left to rape, murder, child abortion, all of them are the same. All abominations of God's life. They're all immoral. So we shouldn't give mothers a special privilege to perform actions. And we shouldn't let rapists rape. We shouldn't let murderers murder.
Yeah, people let those things happen.
The Icebreakers are going to start with the puck after taking the opening draw.
That makes them equally wrong. It makes them wrong.
Oh my!
It makes them a participant in evil.
It does.
Taken along the wall by Ryan. Oh, the stick falls on the play.
And that's a tough one, James, when you're in a prime scoring area and you have to get back to the bench as quick as possible. So you go from being there and then being at the bench.
We should eradicate. We should
Here in the late goings of the period. Still scoreless in this one.
My thing comes into play.
And they take possession off the draw here in their own end.
Knows my health conditions.
And now it's over to Jackson.
Please forgive me.
Let's get physical on that play. Big time
In case
stop
that
there.
was necessary.
The Icebreakers are in transition.
Yeah, the doctor would be.
Oh, here we go. Oh,
Even if it
beauty. The
Yes,
Icebreakers gain control of the puck against the wall. In all alone.
Maybe.
Oh, he's like a rubber band, James. I thought he was out of the net, but he finds his way back in to make that save.
Do you know what
We've got
sometimes
ice
severe
on the play.
endometriosis
Face
can
off
do?
coming up.
The goaltender, they have to have talent, they have to have mobility, they have to be able to track the puck, but they have to have a willingness to find it and fight for any second shot, and that's exactly what happens here. Out-battling, out-willing, and you make the save.
Puck possession so critical in today's game, and the officials ready to drop the puck right
There
here.
are large risks for implications.
Do you think it'd be easier for this area of reducing labor while being going into ripping children? Like the left that is
Goaltender
going to
covers
do
it up. We get a whistle to slow things down.
Frankly, I don't think I'd be a good parent anyway, so why would I want to bring into a world to ICS rule and unforgiving?
Kurt won the draw in his own end. Now let's see if they can
That's how
clear
you
it.
feel, then you have an obligation for yourself is to any potential to get pregnant, do everything you can.
Takes the bank feed.
I would not by choice. I would do it in my power to prevent it. But when
Moves the puck over to Kurt.
what happened to me happened, I did not have that choice.
What a steal in his own end.
I did not have a say.
Takes the zone through the middle.
Where you didn't.
I just think it's fun.
Oh, looked like he had the corner, but he puts it off the side of the net. The Nighthawks carried along the wall.
But Devin, what you're telling me is because somebody did something bad to you, you now have the right to do something bad to them.
Right up the gut, here they go.
It was not even at the stage where I had to heartbeat. Because I went immediately knowing my
Sometimes you
concerns.
have no
I
time to
think
think these types of saves. I mean, there's no hesitation.
Yeah, I
There's
don't
just
think
simple
heartbeat
reaction to be able
determines
to
whether a
make it.
person is worthy of life.
That's blocked by
It was literally just a football sauce at that point. It was very,
Those are it's the same way you were still working.
so
There's no difference between
They bend, but they
There's-
don't
there's
break
no
here, James. This is a
difference
200-foot
between you
play.
and
When you take care of business in your own end, it ends up going the other way. It is
May I
something that
interject?
coaches look for.
Just
How you can bend,
quick.
how you can turn pucks over and get going north. This
Is it
happens
possible
as they execute,
that
and they wind up on the score sheet.
if I'm being
The
honest,
Nighthawks have
first,
created a lot of scoring chances so far, and they lead it late in this first
is it
period.
possible that you know you're on my mind?
that you have
Got all of it.
Oh, that's a tough one, James.
I have the most response because my soul connects things would be not able to take
Wagner's got
every
the
single
puck, and
day.
he's going to hang on. Late goings of this period.
Have you
The
talked to
Nighthawks have
somebody?
taken a
Like, do you have
1-0 lead.
that you speak with?
Yes.
Kurtz gained possession and his great
If
work
you need
inside the
resources, if
face-off
this is
circle
something
pays
you're
off
making
again.
someone else carry to
For the low ball.
life.
If you need resources, we all have really good resources.
James, they were behind in this one, but they were always focused on the next step. And when you do that, you're able to look at what's ahead of you,
I understand.
not what's behind you. And they get the equalizer for their efforts.
Both teams are set. They're ready to drop the puck. Puck picked up in the open ice.
Is there anything that we can do for you
Looking to
tonight,
make
Devin?
something happen along the board.
I just
Right in front with the
Devin, can we
shot.
pray for you?
I would not have been able to
Well,
live
that is a save, James. I don't think the
bringing
goaltender
that
was
child
able to
into
position in time, and he was able to take it away.
And offside, we'll get a reset here.
Cruel as it was. Do I have some regret sometimes? Yes. But I also know it was probably for the best.
Kurtz won the draw center. Play is blown dead with the offside.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the host has something. I mean, I just kind of take the position that maybe this isn't the best topic to discuss, but we can pray for you if that's okay.
We are back underway.
I'm not against Christianity.
Jackson's got it in the defensive
Do the
zone.
people who are
Carries it into the offensive end up the middle.
they still within churches? Yes. But that doesn't mean I'm
Takes the
against
feed in the middle of the neutral zone. And now it's grabbed by Ryan.
I would never judge him before you go.
Denies him on the stopper. Delayed
I
penalty
think that's
coming
true.
up
Do
here
you
by
mind
the
if we
official.
pray for him?
Yeah, you want
Oh,
to
the
do
miss.
This is the guy that you were like. You're the one with ministry and like someone that option.
There's the whistle. Penalty shot.
Hey, Devin. Look, I'm gonna pray for you. I'm gonna pray specifically to the God I worship. Okay? Yeah, I'm just
Goaltender takes that deep
to
breath.
get the difference.
And here we go.
Yeah, there's
And he reads it perfectly on that penalty shot.
Yeah, I love the way he was so aggressive and he
Jesus.
really challenged. It's a one-on-one battle, James, and he wins it.
Just here in the late stages of this frame, you can
that his
feel
life
the
is
energy
played
in
out.
this crowd. It's a tie game. Kurtz won the draw deep in the defensive zone. It's a breakaway as he shoots to the defender.
What I say, Brian.
Anybody who just got up for a quick snack is probably looking at the scoreboard going, what happened?
Well, don't blink. The game can change in an instant.
Absolutely. The Icebreakers take the one-goal lead here in the first.
And if I'm the coach, I'm telling them keep going, be aggressive, stay on the puck, especially after you score a goal-head goal. You got them back on their heels. You got to attack.
King's moving the puck through his own zone.
We first loved him.
Final minute approaching here in this open frame. And that's knocked away by Kurt. The Icebreakers have it now. Oh, Kurt moves to side.
What?
Devin, feel free to follow any of us here.
Well, that for him in a
Jake
way
is
because of the
actually
business-like approach. As
very
he's on the
knowledgeable.
road, he just says, yeah,
He's very gracious. If you're not like comfortable with messaging like any of the men here,
I don't know if you know this at the beginning, but I am a trans man, so I do identify as a man.
okay, yeah. So feel free to follow any of us if you have any sort of questions. You know, we're more than welcome to have any sort of conversation with you. You know.
Like, I wasn't coming in here to attack or belittle.
Well, he's exuding a ton of confidence, not sitting back in his neck.
I just went ahead and I dropped you a follow, Devin.
Wagner's made an
Yeah,
incredible
I know it doesn't
save there.
seem
I'm not sure how he kept that
like
out
it,
of
but
the net.
we're all
Just
here for
really
you if you need.
athletic. I mean, you have to be acrobatic to be able to get to the top of your crease like that.
I would never
But he
judge
read it
somebody for
perfectly
being
to be
Christian.
able to make the save and keep it at bay.
Centers glide into the
People
dome
are
as the
very
face-off
important
ready to
about
resume
being
play.
Christian. Modern people do.
The Nighthawks win that offensive zone face-off.
Yeah, I think there's misconception of what's maybe what you're implying.
Picks up the puck in his own end.
I don't respect the religions of other individuals. I find them to be lies.
Icebreakers have it
Respect
behind the
the
net.
truth. Right?
Here they come
I
up
respect
along
the
the wing.
individual as a human being made God's
To the
image.
face. And he hits one of his own teammates with that shot.
Between you and these other people is the
Yeah, no trust. Jesus.
One officially to an end. Well, they see dominated in the possession department.
Giving Christians a bad
They clearly maximized their
I
opportunity to come away with the win tonight, Cheryl.
all ideas can be hijacked.
You have to find a way to cash in on your opportunity.
I would
They did it
reject
tonight, and that's why they get the
Christianity
victory.
because of
Why do you follow Jesus?
yes.
I just think the question is, why should somebody believe in Jesus?
Why should somebody believe in Jesus? I think that there's no other worldview that provides you the same hope that you can find in Christ. Every other worldview is going to provide you some kind of works-based system where you're trying to climb the ladder to reconciliation and enlightenment. Christianity stands for religion that He's already done it for you like a mass.
It's it's just, it seems like you're just trying to think that He has done these things. Like, this is something that has historically happened.
What hasn't experienced?
That's Jesus had done X thing that's would be in place of us achieving things, which otherwise would not be necessary.
I don't think
Like you're saying, like we have to, like the other worldviews, we'd have to work to achieve some kind of sense of enlightenment, and they're like.
His resurrection is so if the other worldviews are giving you some kind of like
For instance, like I tend to value things which I consider to be true, right? So like that's why I'm asking like who Jesus was, or
What it
why
is.
I believe that Jesus has done these things.
what is true.
Well, I mean, I would look at truth to be like some kind of apt belief.
Truth is what a person have to believe.
Like some kind of apt belief, like they're justified.
EA
Like
Sports
some kind of
bringing you
like
the
justified
heat, bringing you
belief
the
based
noise,
on
and
one's
bringing you
character.
what should be a fantastic matchup tonight on the ice.
Well, truth would just be things like, I wouldn't say it's subjective. I'm saying that an individual has like established a pattern of seeking what could be true without playing
The
into
time for
different
talk,
like
the
vices.
time for hype's
I
over.
mean, you
It's time
value
to
what
drop
is
the
true.
puck now.
You didn't say what could be true. You said you value what is true. That's why
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
The Icebreakers
So, like,
take
what
things on
is
by
true, I
winning
would
the
say.
opening face-off, and here we go. Here's a shot. That's a textbook save by Raymond.
Blowing him out, like I just absolutely chastised him to go up oblivion, and he refused to give it a
you
double.
guys like you're right.
Yeah.
You guys like my cards of video?
Being too adults, like I don't want to help adults.
That's why, like, if you're like pediatric, or especially like a pediatric surgeon, you like, if a child dies under your care or like dies on the table, that's like super traumatic, way more than what an adult does. You know?
Honestly, for me, it would be I value all life. Like obviously, I value life. But peds is more like for me. It's more fast paced and it's more focused. I have to have a more focused job, just for my own sake. And it's just that like whenever something goes wrong, it'll go wrong fast, and whenever something goes right,
They've really taken control of this game in the first period, James. They've set the tone, and a lot of it's coming off of their shot selection. They're putting a ton of pucks to net.
Look out, here they come on the attack.
extremely frustrating when you do the work to get in on a breakaway and then you get nothing in return. A missed opportunity. Big time stop.
Dang, what happened? We got nerfed.
No. To answer your question, Ava,
Here in the later stages of this period, the Nighthawks have recently taken a 2-goal lead. They'd love to build on it. Offense don't face off, and he wins the draw. Tremendous
You know, I like to think that I'm a relatively smart and savvy guy, although some might disagree. Videos online, then liking and sharing them to help social.
River, she thought it could be legit, even though she was usually skeptical. The timing, the small amount, and the urgency tricked her into giving up her credit card information. But when the site asked for a second card and she spotted the typo in the URL, she knew something was wrong.
What's really frustrating is that it's hard to catch them. You know, I'd love to see them heavily prosecuted when you steal people's personal information. But it's really hard to do that. So they're out. So unfortunately, the person that scammed me is still out there, right?
So the scammer's still out there, but we can do something about it, as we'll discuss momentarily. We don't have to just sit back helplessly while scamming, while these scammers run roughshod over the population, especially older people, and steal billions of dollars. And like I said, it's only going to get worse. You don't do anything about it, it's only going to get worse. A lot worse. But for now, let's keep going down the list of scams. Call center scams are by far the most profitable, raking in nearly $2 billion in losses in a single year with 53,000 complaints. Typically, this involves tech support scams where they call you and tell you that your computer has been hacked and you need to pay them to fix it. The category also includes fake calls from a brokerage or a cryptocurrency website, which convince people to hand over their account credentials or transfer money. Also included here are so-called pig butchering scams. Now, usually these scams follow a straight I have played and beaten some of the hardest games of all time.
And include a video so you guys can go ahead and check that video out.
The Assassins versus Templars. Which one is correct? This is a debate that's been floating around in the community again, and I thought I'd give my 2 cents. The Assassins follow a very simple and often rigid ideology. They believe that humans deserve freedom, tyrants want to remove freedom, and so tyrants must die in hell. They often fight for near enough absolute human freedom, believing that humans are naturally good enough to use this gift to attain true peace. The Templars offer a more diverse and pragmatic ideology. Some Templars, like the Borgias, believe that humanity is dangerous and flawed, and ought to be subjugated by those who are naturally superior than average. This way of thinking comes from the Order's history of being the Order of Ancients, who worshipped the Isu and wanted to shepherd humanity back into a time similar to when the Isu. This often would involve the use of pieces of Ethos to forcibly subdue and enslave human beings, keeping them under control and unable to be free and cause potential trouble. As a result, there will be peace. Other Templars take a slightly more liberal approach, such as Hayden Kenway and Governor Torrens. They believe humans deserve to have freedom and not be enslaved, as they are thinking, feeling beings, but they need to be kept safe and secure because they're still very bad-natured and prone to violence. They would try to do this usually by using surveillance and preventative measures, as opposed to downright control and subjugation. They believe this to be the best way to allow freedom and also give security, which would result in peace. So who is right? Well, neither really. Both ideologies are far too radical or extreme to really be taken as something to follow in order to make the world a better place. The Assassin's ideology is murderous and far too idealistic, and the Templar ideology is far too oppressive and restrictive. It all boils down to one question: how much freedom is worth trading for security? And neither of these ideologies strike a sensible balance. The Assassins versus Templars. Which one is correct? This is the debate that's been floating around in the community again, and I thought I'd give my 2 cents. The Assassins follow a very simple and often rigid ideology. They believe that humans deserve freedom.
When you're on a breakaway, you have to be able to get the shot off, and he gets taken down from behind. The tripping call is going to lead to a penalty shot.
Let me introduce you to Peter, the new guest in the house. Peter loves living here. Free rent, free from. The Galactic Empire controlled millions of star systems for over 2 decades, but it wasn't just Darth Vader and a bunch of guys in gray uniforms. The Empire ran on a massive...
So a YouTuber named Shuan made a video reviewing the online discourse around the new game, Pragmata. Some of the comments she reviewed included gamers who felt a sense of wanting to become a father due to the game's premise. She also went over comments where Twitter users made fun of gamers for having a male protector fantasy because gamers are notorious for not getting any poontang, which is untrue, by the way. I'm a pretty competitive gamer myself.
Well, this is such a quick shot that comes from the slot that you have to have good reflexes to be able to make that glove save.
Getting into the later stages of this period, we're still scoreless.
Cells and shit. One of the people she criticized was Mr. Electric himself. She breaks down the song's notion is sick and totally underproductive, considering that he's arguing people who play the game should only care about things that they experience, and because all gamers are unfuckable, they should just give up the stream of fatherhood. Why are you showing emotion for something that doesn't concern you?
In any case, what is this? Capcom's Pragmata. Wait, did it come out already? Pragmata, it's making 1,000 people suddenly want to start a family. In one emotional is a crayon drawing of the two of them together as a little family. Even streamers who say at the start they didn't want kids end up breaking down happy in tears. What's really interesting about this is all of these unfuckable losers in the gaming sphere always talk about like starting families and stuff. And I don't understand like why this has become a thing that they care about. Like, if you're a gamer, you should care about things that you actually experience. You care about things that you actually enjoy, right? If you're a lonely gamer who has never been around a woman and will never have sex with a woman, why do you care? Like, why do you care about having children or like riding for having children? Like, it's just not something that you're gonna experience ever for your life, for the rest of your life, right?
First of all, the only care about something if it affects you is extremely libertarian coded and also very weird coming from a guy who understandably wants everybody to care about a genocide that is happening across the ocean. Second of all, what's this nihilistic bullshit? You never aspire for anything, never aim for greatness and meaning. This is the dude the media wants us to believe is going to save young men from the alt-right pipeline. Yeah, okay.
I mean, is this position that deep? Not really. It is worth criticism. Why is that your immediate reaction to such a simple, wholesome point? So the reason I'm going over this today is because I reacted to some hearing to criticize him. And it's actually a great demonstration of how much of a fucking man-baby he is.
Bro, you were on the last Shuan Head video. I will literally shoot myself with a gun if you bring that shit up in here, okay? Why? What do you want me to do? Do you want me to go out, purchase a shotgun, shoot myself in the face, not die in the process, but at least lose significant chunks of my fucking brain so I can operate at the same substandard, suboptimal IQ level that Shuan and our dumb fuck audience operates in so I can do a regular response to that? Is that what you want me to do? Do you want me to lose chunks of my brain?
Yes. This person is too stupid. This points if you refuse to see what those points are. It's just funny because this baby walker, he doesn't even know what he's upset. He never bothers. For some reason, the monkey part of his brain lights up.
Me, I'm an emo girl, and I change my politics all the fucking time. Ooh, look at me. As an emo girl, I look like that.
He wants to separate the body from Puck, and that's exactly what you gotta do. You gotta play with a competitive edge and an intensity.
In the final moments of this period, 1-0 to score.
The game so once again flipped to easily debunk her and laugh. Yes, wouldn't you believe it? E-Man having a terrible opinion. What did she say this time?
Earlier today, this random TikTok where I was thinking about how, hear me out, do you guys remember like 10, 15 years ago? I feel like 10, 15 years ago, if you were a girl gaming online, people were actually so nice to you. Like, so nice, they treated you so well, they would like gift you free stuff, all this stuff. Do you guys remember?
more than convinced at this point that Pokimane is just saying shit to get negative attention. She has her Sippy Sipperton fan base, of course, and she's also
and a lack of confidence
for
as well,
most
James. When you're
part
in
of her
all
circle.
alone, you
So
have to
I
know
think
exactly what you want to do, and you have to
clipped
play
for
with
attention.
authority.
I say this because she then talks about rage baiting as if that's something she doesn't do herself.
Do you feel though that there's been rage bait for so long that I'm like tired a little bit, like I'm numb? I actually don't get baited as much because everybody knows that there's rage bait. Do you get what I mean?
I'm kind of getting the feeling that Pokimane is getting epically trolled and pranked right now. You know, maybe she actually does believe the stupid shit she says, such as women being treated better within the gaming space 15 years ago. No, which is probably the more likely answer, and if that's the case, she is 100% objectively wrong.
Who are you, an ugly, sneaky man, to tell this beautiful princess that her experience as a girl gamer is fabricated?
I guess I can't speak for Pokimane's personal experience gaming as a woman. It is funny to make this argument when Pokimane herself just assumes her experience was the same for most other women that gamed, and she'd done even just a lick of research on what gaming was like for women, and she then realized how goofy she sounds.
People were actually so nice to you. Like, so nice. They treated you so well. They would, like, gift you free stuff. All this stuff. Do you guys remember?
I will say, Pokimane is right in the sense there were gamers who were praised just for being girls that played video games. Video games were much more male-dominated back then, so seeing women in the pre-game wild was like encountering an endangered species.
What? Is that a girl?
He's got the puck, and here he comes.
Pokimane and Link Pichu, two titans within the street industry of which this podcast called Sweet Hits.
Center's gliding up to the face-off dots here.
I've seen quite a few Sweet Sour episodes, and it might be one of my favorite podcasts of all time.
The Icebreakers are here in the offensive zone. And we get a whistle as the goaltender decides to hang on to this one.
What has been covering her today? Well, it all comes back to bringing the Queen himself. Yeah.
Wawa has tacos now?
Crosby's won the face-off, and now let's see what
Back for these. It was perfect.
and the traffic neutralizes that threat. Well, all smiles in the defensive zone tonight as they come up with a big shutout performance. And what can you say about the performance between the pipes?
Yeah, I mean, he was outstanding, wasn't he? I mean, I thought it was a defensive masterclass as well. So I think
Are you using a Vibrance around your pubic area?
Maybe his pubic razor will change it for him. He had to make some huge high-danger saves to keep the zero alive, and that's exactly what he did with this performance to earn that shutout.
So it's a pretty big lead. I mean, it depends. I guess, like,
Well, that brings the night
It's a
to
case
an
of
end, and we
definition
will
or
say goodbye here
subjective.
from ringside from all of us here at EA
I would
Sports.
stay away from,
My
like,
name is James
Daytona.
Cebulski. I gotta get to bed. See ya.
Purple all together.
Can I? What is your...
here's some actual good news from around the world that nobody is fucking talking about. The state of Florida has officially banned any convicted animal abuser from ever owning a pet again. Australia is on track to becoming the first country in the world to totally eliminate cervical cancer. The jaguar population in Mexico has increased by more than 30%. South Korea has launched night buses, which are pink buses that are exclusively designed to only transport women with the intention of making night travel safer for women in South Korea. Pandas are no longer at risk for extinction, which is one of the greatest comebacks in wildlife conservation history. I already know that Robert Irwin is fangirling about this so hard. There's a laboratory study that shows that dandelion root extracts can eliminate up to 95% of tumor cells in just 2 days. Laboratory studies still in vitro, but it's looking good. Supermarkets in Thailand are replacing the little plastic wrappings around their vegetables and all that stuff. Yeah, they're totally replacing it with banana leaves. Honestly, genius. The green sea turtle is no longer an endangered species. In California has officially regained ownership of the land that was given to them by their ancestors and was from them over 120 years ago. As a native indigenous person myself, it made for indigenous peoples everywhere. Norway has officially reached a near zero deforestation rate. This is unheard of. Good for you, Norway. Show the rest of the world how to do it. And next up, we have Indonesia officially banning elephant rides nationwide. WN Welfare and...
Oh, dang.
The tension, the excitement, the electricity. Let's get ready. Buckle up, everybody. It should be a fun one tonight on the